Hello guys! Oh my gosh, I feel like it's forever since I've made a video. I'm so excited. I always get excited when I talk to you guys because you always send me messages and you comment and you say things, and I just love getting to know you guys. And there's a couple people too that just had interviews, I think the last month or so. They told me they were going to go to this interview 2 months ago. So, and I haven't heard anything back yet, so let me know, good or bad. I just want to hear about it just so I can spread the word and tell people, how interview processes go, so people know and know what they're walking into. But I hope everything went well. Please, message me and let me know how things went. You may be so busy because you're going through training or something right now that you probably haven't even got back to me, so that's a good thing. I hope you are busy. I hope you got the job. I hope you're there. And it's super exciting. Things have been just crazy lately. We're ending up the summer flying. So summer flying is coming to an end, which is crazy because it feels like it's just been a whirlwind. I've been working a lot of 4-day trips. Now 4-day trips is the max amount that a flight attendant can work in one grouping, one pairing. It's 4 days. I've been getting a lot of those. Now 4 days it's weird because 3 days, I love 3-day trips. 3-day trips are amazing. It's perfect amount of time. You don't get too tired, you don't get exhausted. For some reason, adding one more day is just the end of the world. I'm like, no! And so, yeah, so it's been crazy. And the other day, honestly, it's weird that I'm talking about this just because it was kind of a weird moment for me because just a lot of things went through my mind. And I think that anybody who's going into this industry probably should know this. Because, we go through, in training, we learn all of our safety procedures. We learn how to deal with things when they come, and it's not until you are actually put in a situation where you might have to use them or think you're going to have to use them that it's actually holy crap, this is scary. And so my roommate just messaged me. Oh my god. Okay, so my roommate just messaged me. I can't. My roommate just messaged me and she woke up and her tooth was like this. What is she gonna do? Oh my god. She's a flight attendant too. What is she gonna do? She can smile at the customers and be like, hello, hello boys. Oh my god, look at her. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Anyway, I'm so sorry. So I think that anybody going into this industry, the other day was I had a terrifying moment and it was really, really scary. We're flying in the air, whatever, and they tell us there's gonna be bad weather in Fort Lauderdale, and we're probably gonna have to divert. Now, usually captains say something about turbulence. So they say there might be light to moderate turbulence, there might be severe turbulence. They'll warn us and let us know. So we didn't hear anything from the captain, and usually, the captains are really, really good about communicating. So this was kind of odd, and so he tells us to clear the cabin for landing. So we cleared the cabin for landing, and we just sit down in our seats. Thank God there was nobody that stood up, nobody went to the bathroom, nobody did anything. So we just sit down in our seats. And all of a sudden we go into not light turbulence, not moderate turbulence, straight up severe turbulence. And I was in my seat and I would just sat down. So I had I always put my waist belt on first and then I put on my straps. And so I just had my waist belt on yet. And then all of a sudden we just go boom and just hit this horrible turbulence. And so my head's going. I was sitting there, and when the severe turbulence hit, I was for a second I was oh, it'll pass, it'll pass. It went on for, I think probably a good 5 minutes. And so we try to land, and so there's multiple things that happened in this landing that was a first for me, and actually a first for the people I flew with, and I was flying with a senior crew. And that's what made it really scary because we're sitting there, and there's no warning from the captain, and all of a sudden we just go into severe turbulence. And it's people are screaming, people are like this. And people are screaming and yelling and oh my god, oh my gosh. It was scary. And I wasn't scared yet, and plus we're trying to stay calm. Our job is to stay calm, and we were both extremely calm. But then I look over, and nobody can see the person I'm flying with because they're facing the aft of the plane. But I look over at the senior flight attendant, and I look at her, and I see her with her necklace out praying, and that's when I got nervous, because like, oh my gosh, like what's going on right now? Because I was also, they have these, you need a lot of safety stuff on the plane for even the flight attendants. So even up here on the wall, they have like a cushion, like just in case you hit your head or something. And I always looked at that, and I was like, that's really dramatic. Like, why would you need that there? Like, that's not anywhere close to where my head is or gonna go. And I hit my head on it 2 or 3 times. And I was like shocked, because I didn't hurt my head or anything, but I was just kept hitting it, and it was it was full on, and we were in the back too, so when you're in the back of the plane, it's horrible. Like that's where all the shaking goes on. But I guess in first class it was terrifying too, because afterwards we found out there's a gentleman in first class that was having all the passengers around him were having to calm him down and make him relax, because it was just crazy. So we were just full on going back and forth, and so then we had to abort landing, which I've never done an abort landing either. So they were getting close to the ground, and so then and it felt just like a spaceship taking off, like how you imagine it, like, when you're watching TV and you saw a space. It just felt like the engines just went full on, and this was, and we're in the back, and we're just like, it just out of nowhere, just boom, we go right back up into the air. Well, I guess another airline and us were the only ones that were trying to land. Everybody else had diverted. And so I'm like, can we just divert? Because nobody wanted to go through that experience again, because it's just so scary. And we felt like, you felt like you were going to crash. And that's what's really scary, is you really, really felt like, okay, you're going to crash. You're going to have to do your procedures, and you're going to have to start going. And that's what made it really scary. And we weren't hearing anything from the captains, but at this point we shouldn't be hearing anything from the captains, because we'd never call the captains, because they're obviously, if he couldn't call back and let us know that there was severe turbulence, it's because he didn't know it was going to happen either. And so the captain and the first officer are just trying to make sure we're safe and landing. So they're busy, and so we know they're busy, but it's still scary because you have no communication with them. So you're kind of nervous at this point, and all the passengers are looking right at you, and so you have to be so. I'm just quiet. I just was quiet. I acted like this was normal, even though I didn't know what normal was. So it's probably good that I didn't know that this wasn't normal or weird, or this was crazy, because they were all looking at me, and I knew that if I made any kind of inclination that I was nervous or scared, I knew that they would just freak out. Then we go back up into the air, and we do a round. And that plane that was ahead of us that was trying to land from another company, they somehow ended up behind us. And I was like, how did they end up behind us? That's so weird. And so then we end up in front of them, and then we try to land again. Well, then we had to abort again, and we go through this turbulence again. And I was like, no, we could, like, it's terrible. And like, I was nauseous. I was feeling really gross. And I'm not a person, nothing really shakes me up. And so when I was like feeling nauseous and feeling weird and feeling lightheaded, I looked over and I was asking, I was like, I don't feel good. And she's like, put your head back. She goes, you're probably also dehydrated because you probably didn't drink enough water, which I never do. And so she's like, you just put your head back. And so I did, and then we had to abort again, and then we went back up into the air, and then I thought for sure we were going to divert. Like, I thought we were going to go to Fort Myers or Orlando or divert, because I was like, there's no way we can land here. It's crazy. I mean, you really can't see what's going on outside because it's kind of getting darker. It's towards the nighttime, and there's all these dark clouds going on. So you have no idea how close you are to the ground. You have no idea when you're going to have to start these procedures. And we were going to land so hard anyways, I could just feel it, that I wouldn't know if it was a crash or if it was just a landing. Like, I was like, what is going on? And so I'm looking over at my, the other flight attendant, and I can just tell, she's just like, this is not normal. She wasn't saying anything, but I could tell she was thinking in her head, like, this is not normal. By God, if the plane doesn't start turning again, I'm realizing, oh no, he's going to try to land this thing again. And I don't know if, I found out afterwards that he had to land because he tried to land so many times he was running out of fuel, so he wouldn't have been able to make it to, or divert to any other place. So he was just going to stay up in the air until we could to land. And so finally the tower gave him clearing to land, and so once he gave him clearing to land, we went to go land again, and it's the same thing. It's just a full-on, like, I mean, you're just moving back and forth. Stuff is dropping all in the aisles. People are screaming again. People are looking back at me like, am I gonna live? And I'm like, you're gonna be like, it's like, we're fine. And so, anyways, we land, and it was the hardest landing. And it was just like, boom, and I'm like, in my head still, I'm like, emergency procedures, like, am I gonna have to do these? Like, I'm ready to go, like, let's go if we have to do them. And we finally hit, and the lady said, she goes, I have never in my years of being a flight attendant had that kind of turbulence before and that kind of landing. And then we had to do, which I or the other flight attendants I've never heard of before, or the pilots ever had, the first officer ever had to do. We had to do a structural, after we landed, we had to do, and it's funny because when we landed, I mean all the passengers, I mean a good 2-3 minutes of like clapping, hooting, thank you so much, oh my gosh, they're like so thankful to get off the plane, which is whatever. But it's crazy because I think there was 20 other planes that had to divert, and we were the only plane. And the other plane, the other company had to divert as well. We were the only plane that landed at that airport. And so we made it. Because we had a 2-hour delay after that because they had to have people come out and do a structural check of the plane because there was so much turbulence in the air and the landing was so hard that they had to do a full structural check of the outside of the plane to make sure there was no cracks or anything in the plane that would cause it to fail when we took off again. So that took a good 2 hours, and they were checking out everything. They're checking the inside of the plane, the outside of the plane, to make sure everything was good. But I will say, it definitely threw me off. There was so much turbulence in the air, and the landing was so hard that they had to do a full structural check of the outside of the plane to make sure there was no cracks or anything in the plane that would cause it to fail when we took off again. So that took a good 2 hours, and they were checking out everything. They're checking the inside of the plane, the outside of the plane, to make sure everything was good. But I will say, it definitely threw me off. Definitely is a scary thing. Makes you realize, because I think as flight attendants we're so accustomed to feeling like airplanes are our home, and I've only been flying with the company for about 5 months now, and I feel like the airplane is my home. I don't feel uncomfortable in there at all, or scared or nervous. And then when you experience something like that, you realize, okay, this isn't my home. And there is things I should be probably nervous of and scared about, and that there's a reason why we have these procedures, and I still want to have this job after I have experienced something crazy like that. Then I love my job. So I mean, it was great. It was an interesting experience. I don't want to experience it again. I'll pass. Thank you very much. Goodbye. But so to kind of switch things up, and to leave on a positive note, because I don't want to talk about how scary that was, because, you know, it's part of the job. It happens. It is what it is. YOLO. So, also, I like to shop, but I don't shop often, but I like to shop. And I'm getting worse at it because my roommate loves to shop. And so, and I'm finding all these cool things, because she's finding cool stuff. And so we've been finding all this really cool, fun stuff. And then at the end of the summer, they have tons of sales going on. And so I've been wanting these shoes forever, but I was like, no, I don't want them. So Haan is having a sale right now, and I'm super excited because I've always wanted to have like a tennis shoe, but like a dress shoe, like in one. I wanted to say something like, I take myself seriously, but I also like to party, kind of like in one thing. So I was like, yeah. And so I found this. Okay, so here's Haan, and they give you this great bag too. So they have one down the street from me, Haan. See that there? And they're having a summer sale right now. And it's like, I don't know, there's like 30 to 50% off. And you know, these shoes, they're an investment, but they're so worth it because I have bad feet. My feet look like a science experiment. And so we'll put these on, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. And so these Haan shoes, okay, and I love these so much. They're the Haan 0 Grand, and it looks like a nice dress shoe on the top, but it is a sneaker on the bottom. A sneaker, like a full-on, like it feels like I'm wearing sneakers. But I got these because I non-rev, which non-rev for airline people means that like you're just traveling on your personal time. And so we still have to look good in the airplanes, and we still have to look nice and presentable, especially for the gate agents. So I got these. Oh my gosh, I love these shoes. They're just comfortable. They're a sneaker, and it looks like, you know, an Oxford nice shoe on the top. Amazing. I love these so much, and they're having a sale right now. And I got another pair, but they're out of stock, and it's the same thing, but in like a off-white, and so they just look so cool. And I got those too. So I'm all about that. Also, the one other thing that has been a lifesaver lately, and I know it's weird, like guys, it's not makeup. So I think guys get so weird because they're like, oh, I feel like I'm wearing makeup, but no, it's not makeup. It is makeup, but it's not. I'm not putting mascara on. It's this thing's great though, because we fly so much, and I'm on these 4-day trips, that I'm always like perky and like annoying, especially in like the morning times. I'm always like really perky, and customers are like, whoa, you're waking me up right now. And so, but the thing is I'm always like chipper and happy, but I look tired because I'm on a 4-day trip, and the first thing that gets these big black bags under my eyes, because on 4-day trips our layovers are shorter and we wake up earlier. So 2 days in a row I had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to the airport. So this stuff is amazing. I got it at Sephora, and it's a lifesaver because a lot of people use this called Origins Ginseng Refreshing Eye Cream to brighten and depuff, and I will put a link below. But this stuff's amazing because I know a lot of people it's kind of like a trend right now that everybody's doing those eye masks things, those like little gel, it's like a jelly or a gel, and you put them under your eyes. Well, you have to put those on for 15-20 minutes. So it's not really, as a flight attendant, it's not really useful because you wake up in the morning and you're out the door or you're at the plane. So I don't literally in the morning, I just go boop, 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 and put it on. And by the time I get to the airport, it just looks like I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing. So like my personality matches how I look. And so I love this stuff so much. It's at Sephora. Or I will talk to you guys later. It was so good to finally talk to you guys again. And also my Instagram is also underneath as well. So you can follow me on there. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's just have some fun, all right? Okay, bye guys. See you later.